welcome back to Straight Facts. It's Tuesday. I'm joined again by LB. David speaks football. Positive Dan is here with us as well. Loads to talk about today as we debate Semenyo and where he will end up in the Premier League, with Arsenal the current favourites to land him. We're looking ahead at the return of the Premier League, including the North London derby on Sunday, a huge game at the top of the Premier League. Plus, we're touching on United's next 5 games. David thinks it's going to be hell on earth at Old Trafford, so we will see. Plus, some of your hot takes on the show as well. Can't wait to go through all of them. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching over on X, that's great. Retweet it, share it, like it, brilliant. If not, come and join us right now on YouTube by clicking on that link. But gentlemen, how are we all?
Oh, good, mate.
Good, thank you.
Surviving and thriving, baby.
Terry, on the article I've got here, it's got Man United as the 2-1 favourites.
Oh, well, we're going to touch on that. We're going to. You know what you've done there? I call it the gym. All right, it's a bit premature. I call it the gym, American Pie. Just, we have the conversation. We'll have the conversation because I'm actually predicting him to come to Man United. If I'm being honest with you, I think he's going to become a Man United player.
I can see it as well.
I do. He's going to play left wing back. And we need it. It works as well. And I show it to all. Viewers, yes, hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Please just get these likes up for us. That would be amazing. Also, I think all the internet sorted out. It's twice now in the space of the last 2 or 3 weeks, the internet's crashed and gone down. I'm glad it's back up and running for us this afternoon. But look, I did want to start off with the big breaking news that came out yesterday. And that is that Semenyo is available for 65 million. There's a lot of Arsenal fans online pushing and stating they should be going in for him. They should be getting this done in January. LB, what's your thoughts on this? Because he's had a tremendous season so far. What's your views on the 65 million pound, the price of it? I think it's the first 2 weeks, of the window that it has to be bid by and the money has to come in. But can you see him moving in January now?
I don't think 65 is outrageous. I probably think it's a little bit overpriced, but nothing too serious. So yeah, potentially if someone comes in for him. However, I'm not sure Arsenal should be the club that goes for him. Yeah, I don't think Arsenal should be the club that goes for him, in my opinion. I've spoke about this in the past about Arsenal, yeah, but I think Arsenal need to be signing winners, mate. I think they need to be signing players that have won stuff, won trophies. If you look at the Arsenal team, there's a lot of players in there that haven't won anything or have maybe won 1 trophy. And of course, the manager, as we all know, has only won 1 trophy as well. So I think, yeah. Why laughing, bro? Dan,
chill out.
Dan, don't offer him out. All right, chill out. Okay.
No, but it's be real, isn't it? Like, at the end of the day, yeah, like if you look at the Arsenal team and you look at the manager, they're very, very inexperienced in terms of actually winning trophies. So for me, I just think that Arsenal need to be going for a player, yeah, that's actually won stuff that can help them get across the line. Because signing another player that's won nothing in his career, yeah, listen, I'm not saying it won't work, but I think he's a good player. But I just think Arsenal, they just lack that. They lack that experience. They lack that how to get across the line. You need players in your squad, in my opinion, yeah, that have done that. So for me, if I was Arsenal, I would not sign him. Not because he's not a good player, because I think they need to look at a different profile player. And if that was me, I'd be going for Rdorygo. That's what I'd go for if I was Arsenal.
Do you think Rdorygo brings that though? Although he's won these things, do you think he brings that to the dressing room? Like I've won.
Of course he does. He's won like 4 Champions Leagues and something, hasn't he?
I don't think Rdorygo, they turn around to Rdorygo and go, oh, he's a winner. He was never one of the main players. He's still a young player. I don't know. I don't think a Rdorygo is, if you're talking about an old experienced centre back, maybe who's going to come in and fill in when players are injured or something like that. But a Rdorygo, does he like, do you look
he's
at
played,
Rdorygo and think,
oh, this guy's played 283 matches for Real Madrid. Yeah.
I hear you, but I don't know, man. I don't think I'd rather Semenyo.
2 Champions Leagues, 2 UEFA Super Cup winners, 3 Spanish Spanish La Ligas, 1 FIFA Intercontinental.
The Liga is Spanish, yes.
Yeah. 1 Spanish Cup winner, 1 FIFA Club World Cup winner, and 3 Spanish Super Cup winners. And you think he's not going to have that impact on your dressing room?
I don't know, man. I don't know if they all going to look. Possibly, maybe, but I wouldn't sign him over Semenyo just because he's won these trophies.
Dan, in the summer, you wanted Rdorygo. We done videos
Yeah.
together where you said you wanted Rdorygo, but
I
now
did- I
you've
did
seen
want-
now you've seen Semenyo play the way he has this year.
Exactly.
I guess
that.
you're going along the line of Prem proven and that.
Yeah,
But I think
I am, and
LB
also direct, raw, and strong. Look, I agree with Terry. I feel like I don't think it's realistic that Arsenal are going to go and spend another 70 million or 65 million. I
what
think
would
he'll end up at
Rdorygo
United.
be? What
But
would
I don't
Rdorygo
think,
be?
I don't think he'll go United if he's being told he's going to play left wing back. Then I think that would be that would he would say no to that. I think.
You could be right. By the way, big up to Hassam's channel. Thank you for the raid, my bro. I appreciate all the love. Thank you very much indeed. The wingback thing is interesting. So I want to put something up on screen. I'm going to play. You ever seen? I've never seen it before until the other day. You ever seen this? It turns out it's about 10 years old. Of a guy dressed as Jigsaw for Halloween, and there's this bloke kind of saying he's playing the Joker. You ever seen that meme before? I'll send it to you. It's really funny if you watch it. And he's trying to do do you want to play a game? Anyway, do you want to play a game? Right. A, B, or C? Which one of these is Semenyo? Which one is Nuno Mendes? And which one is Amad Diallo at Man United?
Wow.
I'd imagine Mendes is quite attacking in it because he plays for PSG and they just slam everyone. So it wouldn't surprise me if Mendes is A, to be honest.
So just put that into context. So
I would say C is Diallo.
Hang on. So it's going from their defending would be on the left, attacking's on the right. So the viewers know, yeah. So you think C is Diallo?
Who you said Amad? You said Amad. It's the wrong side.
Amad Diallo. No,
Yeah,
I'm guessing because of your question.
Hang on. Sorry,
hang on.
It's been reversed so that they're all facing the same way, but it's the same difference.
Right.
Yeah.
About to say,
It's been mirrored. It's been mirrored to give you an idea. So
just need need to be clear. You know, I think C is Amad, and I would say B is Nuno Mendes, and I would say A maybe is Semenyo.
Okay.
Only because of the question, I'm saying B, Semenyo.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so the reason I do this, I want to give it a reasoning. When it comes to what position people play in, I actually think football fans have got to get away from looking at the graphics on Sky and looking more at heat maps and looking at the positions they take up on the ball. For years, you can't compare KDB and Bruno 1 to 10, 1 to 8. You looked at their heat maps, they're fucking identical. Sometimes opposite sides of the pitch, but they were identical. Same role in a team for me every single day of the week. So to reveal it to you, A is actually Semenyo.
That's what I said, no?
Well, I've heard someone say Nuno, but there's a mixture there.
I might be wrong.
B is Amad, and C is Nuno.
That's crazy. That Nuno Mendes one's crazy.
Yeah, the Nuno Mendes one, he actually inverts more than Amad does as an example. But when you look at it, what I find interesting is that when you actually look at Semenyo's numbers as well, if you start looking at Semenyo's numbers, how much he does defensively, how many clearances, interceptions, tackles, defensive duels, it's on par with a lot of the wing backs and left backs and right backs across Europe. So he already does a lot of that hard work already at Bournemouth. Now, where I kind of agree with Dan slightly is if he wants to go to a club where he's told you're just going to get to stay up the other end and just get to attack. But equally, is Semenyo that player yet who a club's going to sign and go, you can do what Salah does, you can do what Messi did, you can do what Ronaldo did? I don't think so. I think he's going to be told he's got to join in. For me, he is the perfect fit for the attacking element of how Ruben Amorim wants his wing-backs to play. We should move heaven and earth to get him in our team, because if you have him and Amad on either wing, and there are times where you need a more defensive-minded wing-back. It might be game state, taking him off. The man is perfect for what our manager wants and needs in his wing-backs. I want us to break the bank to bring this guy in and stop him going elsewhere, because I think he'd be perfect for us with where we sit right now. And I don't care that it's left wing back. People will go, oh, left wing back, you're going to turn him into a defender. Ruben doesn't want our left backs being our left wing back to being a defender primarily. He wants them as part of his attack. Our left centre back should actually do more of the left back defending in the way our system actually operates. So for me, I want him at United 110%, and we should be doing whatever it takes to get him, in my view.
If that's what you want, that's what you want. But in terms of Arsenal, I just think Arsenal need winners. They've got no winners. Inexperience. No wonder they bottle everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go and get some players who've won some trophies and that, yeah, like
What, like
I don't know, man.
Like
What?
Zubomendi won the European Championships.
Great signing.
Gyökeres won Sporting, won the 2 league titles in Portugal.
Good signing.
Timber won trophies, won loads of trophies in Holland, including league titles.
Good signing. now mention the rest of them who've not won out.
Eze, FA Cup winner, scored in the final. Another one.
I'm trying to talk about serial winners, bro.
Yeah, look. For
line,
me, there's not many players that will start in Arsenal's team. The only position really up for grabs, realistically, is the left side. Now, if you told me he was going to get Rdorygo, I'd be over the moon. But I don't see Rdorygo walking into the dressing room and them all going, "Oh, like he's a proven winner. He's won the Champions League." I just don't see it.
How can they not?
Why though?
Because he's never been the main man. He's never been a main starter. He may have 200 appearances, but a lot of them are from substitutions. He's not playing for Real Madrid right now.
I don't think that's true. One little bit. I need to fact check this information. Yeah.
Check it.
So when
How
are you
often
saying
was he starting? Because it's Vinicius that was.
Let's have
starting,
a look.
right?
Let me have a look. Yeah, let me have a look.
Vinicius, Mbappe, Bellingham. Who else was playing in?
Mate, it's very hard. It's very hard to nudge Vinicius out of the team, right? But I'm pretty sure if he rocked up at Arsenal, it's going to give the whole squad a lift, mate.
Bro, I'm looking at this. Yeah, I'm not saying
it wouldn't give us a lift, but I don't think they look at him and go, "Oh, there's a born winner. He's going to get us over the line." Gabriel Jesus came to Arsenal.
Well, then the clowns, then, mate. You can't compare Gabriel Jesus to Rdorygo.
Why not? Why can't I compare?
Why?
He was winning
back
to back titles. And do you know what? He did actually elevate us. So look, maybe he could. I think if you turn around and said, like, obviously would never happen, but someone like Salah, for example, would be like all day long.
Salah.
Salah, yeah, Terry loves that one.
By the way, yeah, this is absolute waffle about him not starting. Yeah, I'm going through his career here. Yeah, I'm into his 3rd season, bro. He's starting all the games pretty much, mate. So I don't know where you've got that from that he doesn't start.
How many games has he started?
Bro, he starts them all, bro. Like, I mean, I've just come into his next season, 23-24, Champions League knockout phase. Started in the final. He started every single game. La Liga.
He started in the final, yeah? Did he?
Yeah, against Dortmund. He played the full 90 minutes.
They've been to a few finals, though. Did he start all of them? He's never been a main player.
No, he didn't start. Another one, but
just because he's not a main player for Real Madrid, don't mean he won't be a main player for Arsenal. There you go again, thinking you're Real Madrid. You're not.
No, of course he could be. He could easily be. Look, we've been there before with Alexis Sanchez at Barcelona, and he came in and elevated us. So I'm not saying he wouldn't.
If I go player for player, Real Madrid and Arsenal, their team sheet's better than yours, mate. So he was slide right into your team.
I don't agree.
I do. Let's go strikers. Mbappe or Gyökeres. Who are you going with?
Well, obviously Mbappe.
There you go. Goalkeepers. Who are you going with? Courtois or Raya?
Don't say it.
No, Courtois.
Okay, all right.
Well, there you go. Let's not continue.
Go on, then. Go on. Do the rest of the defence. Let's continue.
Go on, Dave.
Go for it. Rdorygo or Gabriel.
Gabriel all day long.
He's not available at the moment, so we'll go Rdorygo. Right?
Gabriel.
He's injured because of his manager.
Yeah. Of course he is. It's all Arteta's fault. Everything's Arteta's fault.
Left wing Vinicius.
No. You were doing the defence. Don't just skip the defence.
Mate, we know Arsenal got the greatest defence that's ever lived. You know, let's not do the defence. But what I'm saying
so that's 4 to Arsenal, 1 to them, and then in the midfield.
Let's keep going through the team.
Go on then.
Yeah,
Declan Rice. You've already said to me. You said he's better than Bellingham, didn't you?
Mate, it's a tough one, isn't it? It is a tough one.
You did say it though. You said it live on my stream.
Look, I'll go. Hang on. Up there. Who you picking?
Slow this down. Let's slow this down. I'm gonna run a poll. I'm gonna run a poll for that one on the terrace.
That's a good poll.
LB, you got a chance now to sign Bellingham or Rice. Which one are you going with?
Yeah.
Ooh, as an 8 or a 6?
Well, Rice can do both. I'll give him that. Rice can do both.
Well, it's got to be an 8. It's got to be an 8.
It's an 8. I'm taking Bellingham personally.
The point is, Dan, there's an argument. Your best player, there's an argument that Real Madrid's, there's players that it's a very...
Listen, of course they're one of the best teams in Europe.
So why were you so shocked last week when I said Real Madrid?
Just that you said that they had a better squad than us.
Last
year we beat them 5-1 and we've signed 8 players since then. So I think our squad's stronger than them.
Yeah,
Simple as that. I saw it with my own eyes.
One-off games can happen. One-off games can happen.
It was two games. It weren't a one-off game. We beat them in their own backyard 2-1, and we beat them when we beat them 3-0.
It was an excellent result. It was
very convincingly.
Yeah.
And we've signed 7 players since then.
And Liverpool have beat you this year, haven't they? Liverpool beat you this year?
Yeah, Liverpool were better than us last year. The best team in the world. If Grimsby signed, I said it in the group chat, and I say it again, if Grimsby signed the world 23 now, would we say they have the best squad in the world?
What?
If Grimsby got taken over and had all the money in the world, there was no FFP, and they signed the best. If we did a poll, the best 23 players: Haaland, Mbappe, Declan Rice,
Grimsby
Gabriel.
did the Galacticos, yeah.
Yeah, let's say they done that. Would you say? Let's say this happened at the start of next season. Would you say they have the best squad in the world?
Yeah, I don't quite know where you're going with it, mate. But
you know where I'm going with it, because you said you can only judge squads once they've win. You can't call a squad one of the best squads until they've win.
What I said, anyway, go on. We won't go through this again.
Are we done with comparing the squads? Are we done with comparing the teams?
I think we are, but what I'm saying is, it's on paper.
Dave got
Rodrigo. No, we're not scared. What are you talking about? Who plays right wing for Real Madrid? Who plays right wing for Real Madrid?
You named 3 players. You
Who
don't even know who he is, so that says it all.
Who is it? It's like it's gone from my head.
Goulart, who's the other guy?
Valverde.
Valverde
gets in a team.
He's a very good player.
Over who, LB?
Well,
over Saka?
You can play him. Nah, not right wing. You play him either in the middle, or you could even play him right back, to be honest with you. He's been playing there a lot.
But he ain't better than Timber. Nowhere near is he better than Timber.
I'd take Valverde over Timber, bro.
No way.
The
only players I would take would be Vinicius, Mbappe. I would take Valverde. I'd fit him in somewhere.
LB, go say that to his face. Go say that to his face.
Come see me. Come see me and tell me.
You'll be going Timber. You'll be going Timber.
I'll come in harmony. I'll come in peace. As long as there's no see you next Tuesday, it's all love.
Yeah, true. Good point.
Funny. This here, go back to me super chats here. This one says, I agree with LB on this one. If Rdorygo is in the market in January, I think whoever signs him between Arsenal and City might win the league.
Arsenal should be all over it, man. The guy's available. Go and put the money on the table. He can play left wing, which is his preferred position. That's a position that Arsenal do need to strengthen. And he's got experience at the top level. He brings winning, sort of that winning mentality to Arsenal, which I think they still lack a little bit. And I think that there's literally no reason Arsenal should not be going for this for me.
Yeah.
You could probably get him for 80 million. He's not going to get played, bro.
I don't think we'll spend any money in January.
Yeah. Their second option is better than your first and second option. That's the truth, isn't it?
Facts.
Rodrigo's better than Martinelli and Trossard. Trossard's been great though the last few weeks. So
he is, but Trossard's been fantastic. That's another thing. He's been excellent. But Trossard has periods, purple patches, and then he goes quiet again. Obviously, you're taking Rdorygo over Trossard all day long.
The thing is, I'm not just saying this because I want Semenyo, because I don't really do content like that. But I do agree with LB. I think Semenyo is excellent, and I don't think he's a player that you shouldn't try and sign. But if someone said to me now, Terry, different, right? Do I see Rdorygo being able to do the kind of wing back type role? We need someone, both jobs. No. Do I see him being able to do the left wing role at Arsenal? Yes. I think Rdorygo would be a better fit for Arsenal than he would for what Man United need in that position right now, as an example. So I would probably pick Semenyo still, based on what we need, although he's an amazing player, because we don't play with a left winger in that regard. But I think Arsenal should. If you've got the difference between the two, is that winning mentality, and that's the one thing that Semenyo's yet to do, is win those trophies. And I think that's a really important part.
Do you think we could still sign players if Arsenal are in for them?
Yes and no. I mean, it depends on the roles that people are offered. The one thing, although some people go, no way he'd play left wing back, I'm telling you now, he's doing the same duties and role at Bournemouth now as he would at Man United. It depends whether Arsenal say
maybe that's why Kirkus is struggling, because he ain't got him anymore tracking back.
Maybe. I think it depends on this. Are Arsenal going to say to him, you're straight in the first team, or have you got to fight for a place? Man United could probably offer him first team football straight away. Let's also see where the land lies come the 1st of January. Arsenal are going to be in the title race, no doubt. But if Man United do well between now and then, or are in hunt for a Champions League spot, that gives us we can offer first team football. Those things can help. If we're, by the way, if we're back down in 15th and looking awful, that goes against us. But the one thing the one thing the summer has taught me, and I think United fans, no matter how bad we are, have got to always bear in mind, we were told we couldn't get Cunha and we couldn't get Mbumo and we'd lose out to all these other teams for these players, and we didn't. I would never write Man United off from being able to sign players, but there's a great opportunity and chance that he goes there. There's no doubt. Let's do this comment here. This is Vinicius' childish antics don't fit Arsenal, is what Sadiq says here.
Yeah, I mean, they're not in for Vinicius, are they?
We ain't getting Vinicius.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Rodrigo's a great shout. But Dan, jokes aside, I see why you would want Semenyo. But I mean,
I'm not saying so. By the way, just to clarify, Semenyo's a good player. If Arsenal get him, that is an improvement. But you know, I just look at the Arsenal team and just feel like they could do with more experience or more players that have won stuff. It's nothing to do with Semenyo's quality. Semenyo's a good player.
What's Rodrigo's goals over the last few seasons? Is it up there? Is it not great?
It's not particularly great. No, I can't lie, bro. But at the same time, like, you know what I mean? That's not why I think they should be signing him. They should be signing him because, by the way, he still got 25 GA last year for Real Madrid, by the way, which is not bad, bro. Well, that's not why I'm not, you know, if I was Arsenal, I'm not buying Rdorygo to get me 20 goals a season. I'm bringing him because I need him to get me over the fucking line, man. Yeah. Because that's what they try to do, Arsenal. They try to get over the line. They don't want to be the bottle jobs no more. You know what I mean? The people questioning the mentality and all that. They want to be a team that actually lifts silverware. If you can bring a player in that's won 10, 12 trophies, that can only help, in my opinion.
To be honest, Dan, I'm taking this example from you because you're the one that said it in the summer. You said you signed Alexis Sanchez from Barcelona. He was kind of like a bit part player there at that time. And he came to Arsenal and lifted them. Well, when I say to another level, he lifted them. And you said that Rodrigo could have the same impact at Arsenal like Alexis Sanchez did. So I'm a bit shocked you've gone away from that, to be honest.
Well, look, I said I would have taken him over Eze for sure. I would have at the time when we were linked with both of them. And I still would now. But
you still take Rodrigo over Eze now?
Yes, I would. What I've seen from Semenyo now this season, this guy looks raw, strong. Yeah. Everything about Arteta's team is Semenyo. He's 6 foot, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he gets goals. For me, he would fit seamlessly into that Arsenal team. He is a player who gets you off of your seat. I'm not sure Rdorygo would have the physical demands to do it I don't know if he could do it in the Premier League. But I know Semenyo can. So for me as an Arsenal fan, if I had to choose between the two, I'd be taking Semenyo.
You go with that, but Liverpool thought, I mean, it's early days, but they thought Isak is a guarantee. They know he can deliver in the Premier League.
Of course.
You know, you never know. Listen, you think someone's proven, you never know.
No one knows. I'm just going my opinion. And listen, a lot of it is probably because I've seen Semenyo play week in, week out, and I watch him on Match of the Day every week. I don't watch Rdorygo. And when I do recently, I've kind of been, he's kind of flattered to deceive, to be honest, from what I've seen. But I know there's a great player in there. But anytime I've watched him in the short times I have seen him, little Champions League games here and there, I've not seen him. So you're only going to go by what you see. If I saw him score 2 goals against Liverpool, I might be saying to you now, oh, no, get Rdorygo in. This is how our brains work with football, isn't it?
I hear that. Any player coming in January, especially for big money, needs to hit the ground running, even more so if they are coming to a title contender. Who would settle quicker, Rdorygo or Semenyo?
You don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah, that's the truth. You don't know.
We have no idea.
I mean, Rdorygo could come and have an impact like Aguero had. What, didn't Aguero score a hat-trick on his debut or something like that?
2.
Look, and you know what? Rdorygo has probably he's probably got a lot more confidence in himself. Where, like LB says, he has won all of these trophies as well. So it's a hard one to say. My gut just says Semenyo. But listen, if we got Rdorygo, I'd be over the moon. I'd be absolutely over the moon.
To be honest,
I'm sure the players would be as well.
Stepping up from Bournemouth to Arsenal, there's a pressure there, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
This don't get triggered by this. Don't get triggered by this. But
stepping down. No shirt weighs heavier than that white shirt of Real Madrid.
But stepping down from Real Madrid to
Arsenal,
even
though you Man United fans like to say you're the biggest club in the world when you're not, but Real Madrid. No shirt weighs heavier than that Real Madrid shirt.
But what I'm saying is, stepping down from Real Madrid to Arsenal, you know, he'll feel like a big fish in a small pond. You know what I mean?
But that's the thing. You are right, Dan. In many people's eyes, Dan, we're not. You know, some people will say we're the biggest club in the world. Some people will say Real Madrid is.
Media say it a lot. It really winds me up.
So hang on. So some will say we're the biggest in the world. Some will say Madrid are the biggest in the world, and we could all agree on one. But we can all agree on one thing: we're both bigger than you. So
Terry.
We can agree on that.
I never agree with you, Terry, but well done, mate.
We can, I can agree on that. I know you are.
Oh, cool. That's fine.
But Real Madrid with 13 Champions Leagues or 14, and you lot with 2 or 3. Come on, man.
Three, man.
Three. Listen, the thing is, though, is that the big element, it's not about the trophies per se, and this is the element that I think people don't understand.
No, it does, Terry. I'm sorry. If they've got 10
hang on. Please let me finish. No one's making the argument that we're more successful and have more trophies. The big element is your global reach, the amount of shirts you sell, the eyes that watch you, the media coverage. There was a report that came out from the Premier League about 2014 as an example, and I haven't brought this out again since, and I wonder why. And it came in that for every tweet about the Premier League combined over the course of a season, 70% of them mention Manchester United. There is the size of Man United is gargantuan in comparison to most clubs, and we're shit, and we're still one of the lead stories every day on every single sports network that covers like Premier League football, European football, even when we're bad. Real Madrid are massive, and some will say they're bigger. The one thing we haven't seen, and it will happen one day, is we haven't seen a purring Man United in the social media era, and that will be the moment when people realize the actual size of this football club. A lot of people haven't seen it yet, but I hear you. I hear the argument about Real Madrid, but they're the only ones that I'll ever have that say are bigger than us. Success is relative because there are Scottish teams have got more league title wins than everybody in England because it's only 2 teams that win it. It doesn't necessarily make you bigger. The size thing for me is more about your global appeal, your global reach as an example, but people hate that. Yeah, you are. We didn't even have social media till Fergie retired. He wouldn't even let the football club have a Twitter account. Yeah, it was one of those crazy things. Moving on slightly from this, moving on from this talking point to get into some other topics. We'll come back to Arsenal a little bit later in the show, people. So make sure you are staying with us. But I wanted to ask Dave a question first of all. Okay, and I need to ask Dave this question. He doesn't know it's coming, so it's a little bit of a curveball. Because he's sort of sided recently with the yard men of this world that you shouldn't celebrate wins that are not trophies. He's essentially agreed with them, right? We're going to boil it down to that. I need to ask you this question. Were the Irish pathetic for celebrating a win like this at the weekend? Not only didn't win them the World Cup, it also didn't get them to the World Cup. Do you think this is over-celebrating from the Irish, David?
Yeah, I mean, pathetic's a strong word, but Dan sent
he wants to start. Terry wants to start another argument, doesn't he? I'm going to end up offering Dave out now.
Let me finish. Dan sent a video in. You must have seen it, screaming his head off. I mean, his head nearly exploded. And I thought, oh my God, fantastic! They've qualified for the World Cup. Come to find out, these geezers have only got through to the playoffs.
Yeah, still got to play another 2 games to make the World Cup.
I mean, fair play, and I see Lou commenting there. But it's a bit over the top, isn't it, guys? Because absolutely everyone thought Ireland had qualified. Absolutely everyone. I think it was a little bit over the top. But listen, everyone's got different standards, you know. And for Ireland, that's a major moment. And I really hope you do qualify. But
it's a major moment. And what I'll compare it to is if Portugal was in a semi-final of a Euros, or let's say a Euros, and they scored in the last minutes to reach the final. You haven't won it yet, but you'd still be going crazy, wouldn't you, Dave? For Ireland, Ireland to qualify for a World Cup is like us winning the World Cup because we don't qualify for World Cups. The last time was 2002. Me being an Ireland supporter, I've almost lost interest even watching the games because I know we're going to lose. We lose the first 3. We've got no chance of qualifying. It's since 2016 when we last made a tournament in the Euros. Brady scored the goal against Italy, and then we went 1-0 up against France and ended up going out. But since then, the country's had nothing. Loss after loss, embarrassing losses, like going down from like one of the 20th best teams to a number 100. We had to win our last 3. Our last 3 games were Armenia away. Expect us to win that, although we lost to them in the first game. Beat them, Then we had to beat Portugal. You guys beat you lot 2-0. Troy Parrott got 2 goals. Ronaldo got sent off. And then we had to go to Hungary against all the odds and beat them in a hostile environment. We're 2-1 down in the 80th minute. And then Troy Parrott scores in the 80th minute, 2-2.
The story's
Last kick of the game, 96th minute. And now
the story's
in March,
fantastic.
in March, we've got something to play for now. And listen, if we can beat Portugal, we can beat anyone.
Listen, the story's fantastic, but I really thought it ended with they're in the World Cup and it didn't.
Listen, I'm not going to lie.
It's a bit shit, isn't it? It's a bit shit ending.
Well, not if we go through it. It's not.
If you go through, it's fantastic. But at the moment, I was like, "Cool, blimey, they're not even through." It was a bit dead, bruv. Like, there was people in our school group chat saying, "Congratulations, Dan, you've qualified for the World Cup." I was reading it, thinking they ain't even done that.
We could only make the playoffs, so that's what we've done. It's so hard on these small nations. It's not fair because
to answer your question, though, Terry, it's not pathetic. It's not pathetic. They've earned the right to celebrate, but it's a little premature, I think. I mean,
that was premature the way he celebrated.
See, I don't think it is premature in the sense of I don't think it's premature. It's because that celebration wasn't because they won the game. That celebration is because it was the last kick of the game. Yeah. And
true.
If they were 3-0 up, and the third goal went in on the 55th minute, the final whistle celebrations wouldn't have looked like that. It's because they were written off when the group was drawn that they wouldn't make the playoffs. They were written off 2 games ago that they were out of the World Cup. And they won 2 games against Portugal and Hungary. They had no business winning because the quality in squads is vast. And they did it with the final kick of the game. That's why I brought up as a bit of a laugh today, to be fair. That's why I think if you remove context when it comes from celebrating goals and celebrating wins, you kill football for me. Because it's imagine Troy Parrott scores that and this is the celebration. Well done, guys. Still got a long way to go left. Like football's over, it's dead. You can't. Not every goals and not every last kick of a game is an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or an Aguero moment. And also Ireland doing that, for me, that's the equivalent of Sharif scoring a last-minute goal in the Champions League to get through to the playoff stages of the knockouts. You'd all go, "Well done, you." You'd all go, "Well done." I thought it was great, but I saw a lot of the celebration police people. Celebrating, oh, that's really good for the Irish. I'm sitting going, oh, your tune's changed suddenly that it's not Arsenal. You know, the mask has slipped. It was funny to me. It was funny. But moving on from that, right? Moving on.
Terry, can I just say,
go on,
Real Madrid, 180 million followers on Instagram. Manchester United, 65 million. Man United, definitely bigger.
Okay, cool. We'll see. We'll see what happens when I told you already that the argument's there. What I've said is this: get a Man United back to purring and back to winning, and you'll see a massive difference in those numbers because a lot of people don't see that. Equally, the one thing that did help Real Madrid with their Insta numbers, and I wish we'd done it more, having Cristiano Ronaldo that has 1 billion followers in his pomp. A lot of those followers, I guarantee you, are a knock-on effect of that. So what will also happen? This will happen to all. This isn't specific to Man United.
You guys had David Beckham though. David Beckham put you lot.
Yeah, but this was before fucking social media, bruv.
I know. I'm saying though, but
before we had
that did make Man United bigger.
Yeah, of course. But exactly.
And you also had Ronaldo.
Dan, that's exactly the point. Yeah, but social media didn't exist. The point I'm making is, if United get back to that pomp, no one gets to United's old level or where Real Madrid are without having a superstar in their team. Those superstars help to grow your football club. Look what Haaland is doing for Manchester City as an example. And now that the Messis and Ronaldos have kind of gone from the main limelight of Europe, it's the Haalands that will do it. And it will grow the football clubs at the same time. It's why they pay huge image rights to these players, because it helps them grow as well. The point I'm making is we're huge, but we're dormant. We're kind of dormant, even though we're still discussing. If we become a team that's winning the major trophies again, there will be superstars in our side who grow us massively across social media. It's just the way these things work, but we'll have to wait and see. LB, I'm coming to you with this one next. Chelsea have released some information here that is that Chelsea officials and members of the coaching staff believe that within the next 3 seasons, Estêvão can reach a status of one of the 10 best players in the world. What do you make of this, LB?
It's possible. I think Estêvão is a top baller. I think he's a top player. Probably one of their better signings that they've made over the years. and I think he's got serious potential. And the fact that they're saying if they would have said next year, then I would say no way. But they've given 3-year period here. Yeah. So if that is true, that's what they believe in 3 seasons. I don't think that is completely out of there. I doubt he's going to be like top 5 or top 4 or something. So he's probably going to be creeping in. But 3 seasons of Estêvão, playing regular football, I don't think it's a stupid shout. You know what I mean? And I love to crash it on Chelsea, but I don't think that's something that is a daft shout. I think Estêvão is a top player. I think he plays with a maturity, which, considering his age, is pretty mad. He's got the flair, he's got the tech. And I don't think he does a lot of these players, that are like techie and that, like they do a lot of fluff, on a pitch, like shit, like skills or whatever that don't actually take him anywhere. When I watch Estêvão, I see I see a purpose.
Purpose, yeah.
Yeah, so I think, listen, obviously it's a brave shout, but I think he's a good player, me. And I'm surprised that Maresca don't start him all the time. I've seen him quite a lot of starting 11s this season when he's not been involved, and I don't know if he's had an injury or whatever. Maybe Chelsea fans in the chat know, but I don't really get it because I think he's a top player, man. He's miles better than Neto and Garnacho and that. So get him in the team, I'd say, play him. And who knows, man, maybe in 3 years he will be one of the best. Top 10 is heavy. It's a heavy push. But you got to remember by then, Lewandowski won't be there. Kane will probably, be tailing off. So you got to think of this as well. So, yeah, man, not a completely stupid shout. I like Estêvão. I think he's a top player.
For me, maybe I've gone blank here, but how many attacking Brazilian players have come to the Prem and cemented that sort of place in world football? I feel like they're just better suited for a Real Madrid or a Barcelona and being in that sort of league, and then they get the rep of being in the top 10 in the world. You know what I mean? Like a Vinicius. I'm sure if Vinicius came to the Premier League, he'd be decent. There isn't a history of Brazilian players being attacking in the Premier League and lighting up world football. There just isn't.
Oscar was pretty good when he was at Chelsea, wasn't he?
The only one who stands out to me, the one who really stands out to me would be Roberto Firmino.
True. He's so underrated, isn't it?
Oscar was decent. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, but he was decent for a season, and they sold De Bruyne because of Oscar. Jose Mourinho sold De Bruyne because he preferred Oscar. And then they sold him to, was it a Chinese team, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who do you think is the greatest ever Brazilian to play in the Premier League? When you look at their whole career, what they've won, what they've achieved here, collectively, who's the greatest Brazilian to play in the Premier League?
The first name that comes out to me, just because of it's got to be Gilberto Silva, maybe. He was part of the Invincibles. I mean, who else you going to go with, Terry?
Edison, Fernandinho, they're good shouts as well.
Fernandinho, Edison. It's tough. And all 3 of those defensive-minded. Yeah, but four defensive-minded players. Back to my point. What attacking Brazilian? Exactly, but what attacking Brazilian has done well in the Premier League? They just haven't. Robinho,
Juninho.
He did all right, but we've got to remember he was in a Middlesbrough. He was Middlesbrough, good at free kicks, but he didn't do that great. Philip Coutinho, first time round. I think Philip Coutinho had a good couple of years. Yeah.
Did you read that in the chat? He's not
the best though. He's nowhere near the best.
Just talking on Estêvão though, I think he does a great player in there as well. But I don't think it's a crazy shout because you can see the potential. But I mean, what's he got? 1 goal this season. Was it the 1 goal against Liverpool? We need to start scoring some more goals if he's going to be one of the best players in the world.
I agree. Yeah. It's very raw and fresh and full of vibrance and enthusiasm. It takes a long way to get up there. Sorry, no, go on, Dave.
I
was just going to repeat what I was going to say. I think he would be better suited to an environment like La Liga, playing for one of those teams. But yeah, go on, Dan.
Do we think that's put pressure on him? Someone in Chelsea come out and said it, Terry, is it? Or is it a fan?
It's a media report it's come out of Brazil, but it's come out that it's Chelsea officials and coaching staff think he's that good. So it's not a fan opinion.
How much did they pay for him? They paid like 30 mil, didn't they?
Do you think that puts pressure on him from Chelsea coming out and saying that?
I wouldn't.
Man. I'm sick of this. We gotta protect the team. Get him in the team, man. He's paid $1, he'll be on $100,000 a week, probably more. Yeah. He paid 35 million for him. Yeah, and everyone wants to that's what I mean. Be careful.
Terry wanted Lamont to have like 10 games before he could play him. Lamont should have gone straight into Man United, you know.
Well,
But,
no,
you know, we got to be
no.
careful with people's feelings, and you know, too
Yes, we
much
do.
pressure might crush them. You know.
Well,
Well, look,
hang on, but we know that's true though, David, because you're the one who goes from 1 week saying we're onto something special to the next week because of your feelings being hurt, saying we're going to get relegated. So we have to protect people's feelings because people like yourself, as a grown man, can't control it. So we have to be careful.
True,
if you
true,
can't
true.
control it, why should a professional footballer? You know, come on.
Because
Harry Redknapp said it best. Some players need an arm over their shoulder, and some need to be shouted at. That's just the way it is. So
hold on, this is their job. This is their job.
Right.
Yeah?
Turn into Roy Keane now.
I'm a fan. I'm allowed to be emotional. I'm not here acting like I'm some perfect analyst. I'm not. I'm just an everyday fan talking about football with you perfect analysts, right? But that's their job.
Thank you.
That's their job, yeah?
Sorry.
And if you get paid to do a job, you can't be shitting yourself. You've got to get ready to play.
So hang on a minute though. See, this is where I push back and disagree. We all have jobs here and we've all done other jobs. Nobody expects the same on somebody. Generally, in most jobs, especially when you're a youngster, we're not talking about a 25, 26-year-old. You're still learning as a young footballer. No one expects new people in a business that are relatively fresh to it to come in and perform like a seasoned pro. So I don't apply that same logic to football. Where I agree with LB is there should be some internal pressure and public pressure on him to get to those levels because he has the talent. What that pressure doesn't mean, though, is that at every failure, because there's going to be loads of failures, it's throw baby out with the bathwater, attack him, throw ad hominem attacks, abuse him. You can be supportive in somebody's failures while still expecting them to reach the top. And I think that's the fundamental difference. I spoke about Lemaines, and the reason I wanted him slowly bled in, I like the way we did it, is because if he'd have started and made one mistake, because of the emotional issues that our fans have, it would have been outright attack rather than a, come on, mate, do better next time. It'd be, you fucking wanker! And I don't think that would help him. So again, I agree with LB, but the response to failures and steps backwards and games where he isn't good shouldn't be attacks. It should be constructive criticism and support.
Well, but that's also what Chelsea have to accept because they've decided to go down the youth model. And if you go down the youth model, you're going to get performances from players that are inconsistent because they're young, and you're going to get, and it's the same with a manager, they've got an inexperienced manager. So because you've got an inexperienced manager, he's going to make errors. So because they've decided to go down this project, you've got to accept what comes with that project.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless you're calling it out. Yeah, if you're calling it out, fair dues. But if you're happy to go along with the youth project, you can't start moaning at Estêvão if he drops a stinker because that's what you're going to get with young players.
Of course. And that's the thing. Very few young players burst through at 16, 17, 18, are ready for first team football and maintain those levels. There's a handful. Yamal's done it thus far. Wayne Rooney did it as an example. Most it takes some time. And I look at the general consensus. And to your point, David, around Lemaines, I would have been happy if everybody treated our young players like I treat them. I'd have had no problem with him going in day one. My issue is I know how others behave. So when it comes to what I think we should do, it's not based on just my worldview. It's the reality of what's actually going to happen. You know, I should be allowed to let my kids play out on the street and not watch them. But there is a risk that someone might take them, so I don't let them do it because I can't control that. That's how my football opinions sometimes work. I look at it and go, you're right. He should have been able to come in, make some young man's mistakes and still get support. But the world we live in, the social media world we live in, we know what Man United fans are like. They actually want to attack their own. They want to be venomous. And I think we've destroyed players in that regard. And Chelsea fans have got an amazing talent here. They need to support him through his bad times because they're going to come for young players. And don't overhype him in the good times. Keep him level-headed, keep him supported, but put that pressure on him to achieve. You can do all those three things at once without losing your minds at a bad game, and that's what they've got to do, Chelsea fans.
Yeah. I get your point on that and Le Mans, but he was coming into a team where he couldn't do any worse. It was virtually impossible. I mean, Terry, we could have put you in goal and you would have looked fantastic. You wouldn't have crushed yourself. So in that situation, you got to have context. We should have put him straight in. But as for that Estêvão and that thing that you put up on the screen, wasn't it us that when we signed Martial, he had something in his contract that if he won the Ballon d'Or, he was going to get some sort of a bonus?
Yeah, I seen that. I think you have to pay some more money to Monaco.
Yeah,
as well.
So all these players come, they start fantastic, and they're going to be the next big thing. You just never know what they're going to be in a year's
That's very
time,
true.
You know?
That's very, very true indeed. There is another comment here from CFC Mods, who's one of the biggest Chelsea fans online. I want to get LB and the panel's take, plus you, the viewers, I want your take on this too. And he has said, so you're telling me if Arsenal lose to both Tottenham and Chelsea fans are quite confident of beating Arsenal, we will go top of the league. I didn't remove them. He's saying that they're going to go top of the league. LB, this is
why has he removed Manchester City?
Man City have to lose and draw a game as well.
We just deleted us. Yeah, we've been guilty. 115.
Yeah, 115's come out. Mods knows we don't.
Probably Chelsea fans, man.
And they have to win both of their games. Yeah, who are their games? Who's
Why
their other games?
remove City just like we don't exist no more, man?
Yeah, that's quite funny. But it's not outrageous.
I mean, can you? If they end up doing that, LB, is this
sorry, man? I didn't read it because I just didn't see
Go on. There we go. Put it back up.
If Arsenal lose to both Tottenham and Chelsea, we'll go top of the league. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Or second if City win their games. Right. Okay. So what we're saying here?
They won't though. It's not true because obviously Man City would have to draw and lose the game, wouldn't they? As well.
Well, yeah, it's kind of weird how he's just
weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's removed City.
I think he's just focused. I think he's just focusing in on Arsenal. We'd be above Arsenal. That's it. That's all he's focusing in on. You know.
And the thing is, though, I don't think they would because our goal difference is superior. So they'd have to beat us like 2 or 3-0.
Nah.
Because if you have lost 2 games, let's say you lost 2 games, you drop down in goal difference as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we've only conceded 5 goals all season. He's in dreamland. He's in La La Land, isn't he? Chelsea will be the easiest. Will be one of the easiest 3 points we get all season.
Some would say the same. Some would say the same about you, Dan. Some would say the same about you, Dan.
What?
That you're in La La Land, mate. Some would say the same.
But my team's sitting pretty top of the league, 4 points clear.
Yeah.
I love La La Land. Bring me Tinky Winky, bring me Poe, bring me all the rest of it. I'm sitting here happy as Larry, looking down at every other team right now.
Let me answer the question anyway. Well, listen, this is obviously a big couple of games for all these teams. Really. If Chelsea do win their 2 games, right, and Arsenal do lose their 2 games, which is possible. I don't think it'll happen, but it's possible. Then I think that becomes a situation then when I'm looking at it going, hang on a minute, like what's going on with Arsenal there? You know what I mean? 2 massive games and you've lost both, like obviously. And again, this is all hypothetical, and I don't think this is going to happen.
If we lose both them games, this is a disaster. Of course it is. We ain't going to lose both games.
Yeah. It'll be a disaster, and Gabriel would be pinpointed, wouldn't it? That injury would be pinpointed.
The thing is, with the Chelsea point of view, it's like
I'm surprised if Gabriel starts. Sorry, LB, go on, mate.
Yeah, no, I don't think Chelsea beating Arsenal is out of the realms of possibility. I think Chelsea are a very good football team. Yeah, I think Chelsea could beat Arsenal. And if they do end up top of the league, because obviously City could lose against Newcastle, if they do end up top of the league, then maybe I'll have to reassess my position on Chelsea.
And then my prediction would come true, mate. That's who I've picked. Don't forget it, lads. I'll stand by it.
What's your prediction?
I predict they're going to win the league, innit?
Chelsea?
Yeah, at the start, yeah. I said this last week, yeah.
That's on madness.
I just want that comment from Abdi saying Arsenal haven't won this since 2022, 2 years ago, right? And the other games have both been draws. But when was the last time Chelsea beat us at Stamford Bridge? You have to go back about 7 years, mate. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Listen, we're in the thick of it now, aren't we? We're getting to that point of the season now where I think within the next 3 or 4 weeks, I think you're going to start seeing a bit of a gap because at the moment, you've got freaking Sunderland are only 3 points behind City, 1 point behind Chelsea. Spurs are still in there. I think in the next couple of weeks, you're going to start to see a little bit of a gap. You're going to start to see the top 2 or maybe top 3 if Chelsea can hang on, start to pull away a little bit. And my point on Chelsea is, which I've spoke about on this channel a lot, which Chelsea fans don't like, is I just think they won't be sustainable yet. And I think at some point they'll just start to tail off. Like I said, I've always said they'll get top 5, but I don't think they'll be, by the end of the season, I don't think they'll be anywhere near the title. Now, on a one-off game, because people say to me, like Chelsea fans will say to me, well, LB, like, what about if we beat Arsenal? Then what? Well, I think you can beat Arsenal because on an individual my point isn't about individual performances. Chelsea can beat Arsenal. My point is over the course of a season.
It's a marathon, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, man. It's a marathon. I don't think they've got enough. So, but listen, like for me, if Chelsea are consistent and they keep winning football matches, then that's where I start to go, well, hang on a minute. That's where I didn't think they had that in the locker.
Yeah,
so many years since Chelsea beat us.
Yeah, CFC Gamer here says reality check coming soon. for Arsenal.
We were having a sorry, go on.
Go on, mate.
Me and Dan were having a conversation today. We were looking at that Adebayor goal that he scored against Spurs. That volley where he took it and smashed it in. And Dan said he thought Arsenal were going to win it that year, you know? And then all it took was a bad Eduardo's injury against Everton?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys fell apart that year and you really thought you were going to win it. That was early
Birmingham.
on also.
It was against Birmingham.
Was it Birmingham?
Yeah, Birmingham, yeah.
You know, obviously we don't want anyone to get injured, but, you know, Gabriel's injured. I mean, you're playing Spurs, you beat them then, but, you know, it could turn around. 11 games is nothing, you know. Fergie used to famously say it starts after Christmas, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got to be there or thereabouts. I've got a hot take to put up in a minute as well that was put out on our homepage the other day. But this here from Aya says that Chelsea need to be careful with Estêvão. I mean, look at Endrick. No one is talking about that right now. With that said, his talent is undeniable. Very true. Very, very true indeed when it comes to young players. Misery loves company. Let people celebrate how they want is what Mama Flossie says here. Spill the tea. Lou says, I'd rather celebrate than be a miserable sod.
Lou, you love me really, Lou. Don't be like that, Lou, you know?
It's true. We have to celebrate football. Let's not celebrate promotion unless we promotions unless we become the CEO.
Correct.
You're one of them, aren't you, David? You're one of them kind of people. Are you a bit of a killjoy at a party as well? Because you sound fun. You sound really fun.
I'm definitely you either love me or hate me, big time. Yeah, that's where I'm at in my life, 100%.
Yeah, but you one of those people. But you're one of those people that's like, okay, I know we're all singing happy birthday, but all it really means is you're 1 year closer to death. Are you sort of one of those people?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, not at all.
Death.
People talk standards from a place of privilege where your country qualifies for every tournament. Who would have said we would have beaten Portugal and Hungary to get to the playoffs? The Joy Police stuff is getting boring. Patrick,
this is not accurate. This is not accurate because before Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal was struggling to qualify for anything. Before Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal never won anything. So we were in the same boat as Republic of Ireland in that sense,
you weren't.
right?
No, you weren't.
Yeah,
you still made most tournaments.
Check the history, mate. Check the history. We were struggling to make tournaments, yeah? Struggling to make tournaments, qualify for tournaments. No, even the Figo days, Rui Costa days, we were struggling to make Portugal. Everyone thinks Portugal have got, you know, a great heritage. They produce amazing players. That's no lie. As for a footballing nation, we hadn't won anything until Euro 2016. So I know exactly what it's like for our country not to win anything, not to qualify for stuff. Yeah.
What didn't you qualify for? Was you in 98? Was you there in 98?
God knows. I don't know the figures now, but pre-Ronaldo, we were struggling, bro. In 98, what was I? Flipping 10 years old, bro.
I remember 98. Arsenal won the World Cup.
I'm looking, I mean, look, I think it's one of these things you could look into it. It was harder from about the early 2000s back to qualify for tournaments because back then you'd have England and Germany. Obviously, we beat them 5-1 once. I remember when we qualified for the World Cup in 1998, we had Italy, a top class 1990s Italy in our group. So there was a lot more big nations not going to those tournaments. There was less teams in the tournaments to qualify in the first place. So it wasn't abnormal to see big nations not there. One of the reasons
why we weren't big. We weren't.
You can't compare Portugal to Ireland.
I'm going to say that. There is that. You definitely were better than the Irish were generally. Secondly, privilege can be built up over a 20-year period, and you've seen that happen.
Agreed.
In the sense of the way Man City fans, like LB, demonstrated that at the beginning of this season. And I hope you forgive me for saying this, LB. I'm not really that excited about the season because I don't think we can win it. There's no Man City fan on earth 15 years ago would ever have said that. So privilege gets built over time by having things, right? And I think that sometimes what we do is we start to look at football in a very monolithic way, like we're all the same and we're all in the same situation and position. And we're not. And it's why, for me, Man United going, if we were to beat Everton on Monday and we go 6 games unbeaten, which would think is our best unbeaten record in the league in like 3 or 4 years, move into a Champions League spot, I'll be very happy with it. Am I happier with that win against Everton than maybe I was beating Everton 20 years ago for an individual game? Yes. But our world has changed. So I do think it's important to remember. I know we want to get back to where we once were, but at the same time, we've got to live in reality about where we currently sit. Yeah. So I think it's important. And the Irish celebrating that goal,
just
to me,
to be clear,
absolutely every right.
Well,
just to be clear on
this. If that's true, I have to apologise, because if that's true, what someone just put in there about Portugal, then wow, Portugal, before Ronaldo, Portugal didn't qualify for 14 out of 17.
There you go. I only speak
8 out of 11 Euros.
Straight facts, my friend. Straight facts is what I speak, son.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. This is why I'm not going to go into this, but this is why Ronaldo is the GOAT, He's elevated generations of players to take us to a footballing nation where people respect us now and actually have us in a conversation.
Okay. So he has elevated you, but what's also important to do is, I don't know the answer to this question. You've got to cross-reference it. So in that period where Portugal weren't qualifying, what percentage of World Cups were England and France and Spain also not qualifying for? Because you need the context of it. You'll probably find, because England didn't qualify for the 1994 World Cup. There was Euros we didn't qualify for. And obviously we've always been a big footballing nation because less teams went to it. So you could still have been a good team back then and not gone to a Euros or a World Cup.
Until 2016, we were in the same boat as Republic of Ireland, people that took part in tournaments. That's it.
No.
That's all we were.
I still think
that's all we were.
We've only made 2.
So it proves it. But Dan, Dave, it proves the privilege point. You're actually proving it further. But because of what the last 20 years have given you, you're having half a pop at Ireland, where you used to be for nearly qualifying. Where 20 years ago, before you became this team, you would have been celebrating like Ireland because you were the same as them. And that's the point of Standards FC. It's not about. It's not about the standard being wrong for your club or nation in that particular moment. It's about applying that standard unilaterally across football against all clubs and all nations at the same time. It doesn't work. You can't remove that context.
Just to be clear, I think they should have celebrated. It was a great watch to watch them celebrate. No one's saying that the fellas shouldn't have celebrated. All I'm saying is, and I think you all secretly agree, the story would have been a little bit better had they actually qualified for the World Cup with that goal. That's all I'm saying.
Of course.
No one's saying don't cry or don't clap your hands or don't take your T-shirt off or scream down the phone. Enjoy it. Of course. No, I didn't, Terry. Don't lie. Don't lie.
Yes, you did. I heard you. We all heard you. We heard you do it there.
We beat Portugal, that's why.
True.
I said big game tonight, Dave. He went, nah, easy win for Portugal. I messaged him the eye emojis at 2-0. Nothing could have went better. Beating them 2-0 and then Ronaldo getting sent off and booed off by the crowd.
Oh, that was class,
I mean, there is a super chat here, actually. There's facts or fiction. Portugal with or without Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, would you say you're better without him now?
No, I mean, hold on. He's earned the right to do whatever he wants, by the way. But the truth is, in this upcoming World Cup, he should be coming on with 20 minutes to go and scaring the life out of people, because he's only got about 4 jumps in him a game, 4 sprints in him, and maybe about 3 step overs. And if he wastes that in the first 10 minutes, then we're in trouble. I think he should be coming on with tired legs. But the narrative in Portugal, my dad messaged me straight away when we won 9-1. My mum messaged me and said, you see what we're like without Ronaldo? We won 9-1. It's just like, guys, tranquilo. He's God to us, mate. He could do what he wants. If he wants to start every game, let him start every game. Without him, we wouldn't be where we are.
But Dave, I don't think it would work though, because see him, he would be fuming. He would hate Martinez. He'd make the dressing room become not a good place if he was coming on only for the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's the type of person he is, isn't it?
Yeah, he is. And I think we can all agree that Messi is the GOAT of football.
Oh, please, man. Please.
Anyway,
Allah help us, man.
Anyone who's blessed with fucking sight, you can fucking see
exactly.
Oh, lads, God.
Dave, you've admitted it.
Obviously,
please, Terry,
come on,
please.
Dave, mate.
Segue this to next topic, man. This is going to ruin my day.
You started it by saying Ronaldo's the GOAT, bro, which is horrendous.
Listen. Winning the World Cup with Argentina, any old bloke can do that. Just ask Maradona. Messi's not even Argentina's best player, let alone the best player ever. Yeah.
But you admitted it. You said the debate is over.
Greatest of all time. He's elevated. He's
elevated. You know what's mad, David? You know what's crazy is you know what's sad about that is, right? I know for a fact that deep down, you know that you're waffling. But because you're
100%.
Portuguese, you're not allowed to say that Messi's the GOAT. And
No,
it
no.
must kill you inside. It must kill you inside to know that.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If Portugal win,
I've got the messages, Dave.
you can get whatever message you want. When Messi won the World Cup, I put my hands up and said, "Wow, this guy's single-handedly gonna won this. This guy's
the debate is now over." That's what you said. That was your
He took a bunch of steroids to do it, but he's unbelievable. But anyway, right? Ronaldo, if he wins the World Cup, the upcoming World Cup, there is no conversation, and I want both of you to apologize to me in Portuguese and tell me that Ronaldo's the greatest of all time.
What if he comes off the bench for the last 10 minutes?
Yeah.
After Messi ran the whole World Cup.
Yeah. Listen, like I said, Messi's not even the greatest Argentinian player of all time. Ronaldo has created an army of players. The team that just won the Champions League, their spine, their core, their heartbeat, their lungs are two Portuguese ballers. And who did they grow up watching? Cristiano Ronaldo. Who did they grow up wanting to be? Cristiano Ronaldo. That's it, mate. He's just look at our squad. You want to talk about squads? You want to talk about squads? You want to talk about paper, Dan? You like talking about squads and paper. Yeah, go and write down Portugal's squad. Yeah, name for name, player for player, and no England, nobody comes close to us. And that's all thanks to Cristiano Ronaldo and how he's inspired generations of players. Please, guys,
and that team got beat 2-0 by players that struggle to get games in the Championship. The mighty Irish.
That's it.
Because we got more heart and spirit than any nation in the world.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
So you're not sort of crediting the academies and everything else over. It's more Cristiano Ronaldo inspiration.
Cristiano Ronaldo has inspired. Yeah. Listen, Portugal have always produced highly technical players. Yeah. But we've never won anything. You go through that Figo, Rui Costa, Sergio Conceição, all these players that were in that team, Nuno Gomes, Pauleta, Costinha, João Pinto, I can name all of them, yeah? And we didn't win anything. But with this man, the mentality shifted. The belief. No, we haven't. We won the Euros. Yes, we won the Euros. Listen, I'll put this on camera, yeah? Read it. The 10th of the 7th, 2016. I've got Eder's name on my hand, and the minute he scored the goal.
And a kiss next to it.
Yeah, safe to say my wife wasn't happy. She asked to put her name, but I said, score the winner for Portugal in the World Cup. You might get your name, But listen.
Play in the final.
Oh, no, he didn't even play. He was like a little cheerleader.
He managed it. Instead. And he got us there. Anyway, guys, I could go all day about Ronaldo. You guys know it. I don't know why you treat him this way. Why'd you treat him this way?
No, I say he's the second best. As simple as that.
Just admit the man is a phenom. It's just, anyway. Portugal, if we win the World Cup next year, guys, yeah, and Ronaldo is even if he doesn't even score a goal, the guy's the greatest of all time. That's it.
Yeah, you got no chance, bro.
Who's got a better chance than us? Tell me. We just won the Nations League. We beat Germany and Spain.
Guys, I've got to interject. Guys, I've got to interject because we've got some breaking news. Ornstein bomb. Arsenal continuing to assess Gabriel amid concerns the 22-year-old could miss up to 2 months through injury sustained on international duty. Initial indications suggest Arsenal centre-back is set for a spell out, but tests are ongoing. So it's up to 2 months out with injury. Ornstein, Bomba. Dan, your instant reaction to the news, your best defender, your talisman, could miss the next 2 months of football.
Gutted, absolutely gutted. Massive loss. I've been
it's the
saying
best squad in the world. You'd be all right.
I've been saying on my stream, to anyone who's come on, if you could pick one player not to get injured, who would it be? And everyone has either said Gabriel or Declan Rice. And yeah, it's a massive loss for us. But look, that's what the squad's there for. Calafiori can play left centre back. Hincapié can play there. Mosquera can play there. Saliba can go there. Look, we're not just going to lose him for his defensive ability. We're going to lose him from set pieces. it's a massive, massive loss. Like I said, if I could pick one player not to go down, it'd probably be him, and he's gone down. But look, it's 2 months. He's going to miss quite a lot of games, but look, he's going to come back. And when he comes back, it'll be a massive bonus. And these things happen in football. We've got to get on with it. We've got a massive week now without him against Spurs, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea. It is what it is. It's not like before where we had Rob Holding coming in. We've now got top quality players, international players. Calafiori, top player to come in. I've got full faith in him. Hincapié was an invincible with Leverkusen. So let's see what you're made of now. Let's see if Arteta can manage the squad properly. And it is what it is. I didn't think it was going to be a long-term injury, to be honest. But
where do you stand, Dan, on the claims from a number of Arsenal fans online that this is on Mikel Arteta, overused him in the early parts of the season, and he's the reason he's out injured?
Well, last season, Van Dijk played 37 games in the Premier League. He wasn't substituted once. He was an unused sub in 2 League Cup games. He played all of their Champions League games. John Terry, I think in 2015, when he was 36 or something, played all 38 games of Chelsea's games when they won the Premier League. Rarely, apart from Man City, because they seem to get a lot of injuries with their centre-backs. John Stones, is very injury prone. But if you go to United's title winning teams, I can guarantee you that Rio and Vidic probably played nearly every game. Same with Sol Campbell at Arsenal. They're meant to play every single game. Now, the only games that Gabriel didn't play in the League Cup, the only game where I'd say maybe he didn't need to play was Slavia Prague in the Champions League. But of course, we were chasing records then. We weren't conceding. So I feel like Arteta wanted to keep that momentum going of not conceding. We're only, 13 games in the season. So I'm not sure what games people wanted him to be rested in. He's got injured playing for Brazil. And the injury, it's not like it's like a follow-up injury on a previous injury he had. It's a brand new injury. It's a groin injury. So for anyone to say that that's Arteta's fault, I think it's really clutching at straws. A bit sad and a bit desperate, really, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree, to be honest. I mean, you can't fully blame Arteta here. You don't know what the player does away from training, Like I say it to my clients all the time. You're with me for 1 hour a week. Look at all the hours that you spend away from me. God knows what you're doing, I know football players spend a lot more time at the club, but you don't know how he's recovering at home. You don't know what he's eating. Is he doing the right things? You can't fully blame Arteta for it. You got to blame the whole club, the recovery at the club, the medical staff, everyone has to take responsibility, including Gabriel himself. However, when you have a track record of injuries, and Dan said it himself, you lost the league because of injuries, I think you have to be very careful, and you have to almost be super vigilant as Arteta, as Arsenal manager, with what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. No one's blaming anyone. I just think you've got to be hyper vigilant as Arteta to make sure you're not overplaying players, because you've always have injuries. You always do. It's an Arsenal
Let me
thing.
ask you a question.
Look,
why did Arteta sub on Gabriel in the EFL Cup, Carabao Cup?
Port Vale, was it?
And then Port Vale.
Yeah.
Why is he doing that?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's
That
when that happened. When that happened, I was like, I'm not sure what he's doing there. Do you know what I mean? The game's won. It's Port Vale. Why does he need to come on? I agree with that totally. And listen, with the injuries, before last season, 5 years, we never really had a lot of injuries under Arteta. Last season we did. This season will happen again. So he has to be. Arteta's not blameless. I am looking at Arteta and the rest of the coaching staff and the physios. Why are we getting so many injuries? Because let's face it, this is an injury crisis. I know a lot of them are coming back now, which is positive, but we're having a lot of injuries this season, and it's the same thing as last year. Thank God we went and bought another 8 players, because could you imagine we didn't buy them players? It would be that season would be a write-off.
Can I ask you a question, Dan? Yeah, if these injuries continue, whose responsibility is it to say, right, guys, we need to start looking into this. Something's going wrong here. Whose responsibility is it to manage this situation? Who would you say it is?
It's Arteta's for sure.
So that's why some fans are saying, blimey, this guy's not managing this properly. We could end up losing the title again here because of injuries.
Listen, and I agree with that with all of the injuries. but not with Gabriel, this specific injury. Because for me, your best players, we're just talking about Ronaldo and Messi. The reason they're the best is because they were available every single game. People say to me, some Arsenal fans, why doesn't Declan Rice get injured? Declan Rice, if he played every single game from the day he made his debut at 18 for West Ham, he would have played 304 games, which would have been 38 games every season. And guess how many he's played? 287. So some players don't get injured and they're durable. And 9 times out of 10, that's the best players. Steven Gerrard used to have injections to play. You know, Gabriel is that important to us. If Gabriel didn't play in a league game and he was suddenly rested and we lost that game, they would be losing their minds at Arteta for doing that. Same way, if we were 2-0 up in a Premier League game and he brought him off with 15 minutes to go and then we conceded 2 goals, they would be going absolutely crazy. Like I said, Van Dijk didn't come off once for Liverpool last season. Arsenal, a lot of the games this year, we've won 4 games 1-0, one of them 2-1. The other one, we were 0-0 with Liverpool to the 80th minute, and Saliba was out for that game. The other game against Man City, we were 1-0 down to the last second. So there's been close games. We've not been blowing teams away. So I don't really see where the opportunity was for Arteta to rest him. Against Port Vale, bringing him on for 10, 15 minutes, I don't know. Only Arteta can say why he done that. Has that made him get injured? Coming on for 15 minutes against Port Vale, I highly doubt it. But as an overall package, if we continue to get injuries like this, yes, Arteta, the buck stops with him.
That's it.
He needs to look at the medical team, and they all need to look together and say, what's going on? Why are we getting so many injuries? And look, maybe there's something in it, because I remember Klopp's team, they would be great for one season, unbelievable, and then they would burn out the season after.
But he plays. Yeah, but that's not the same, because he also played like rock and roll football.
Full pelt,
but
stuff.
we
probably press more than any team.
But it's not the same. It's not the same as Klopp.
Do you know where I think the worry is for Gabriel? It's not so much defensively. I mean, he's fantastic defensively, but I do, like you said, Dan, jokes aside, you do have players that can come in and do a good job there. You know, it's the goal threat. It's the important goals he's scoring. It's Rice to Gabriel from the set pieces. 100%. That's where I think, I mean, how many points do you reckon that will get you over the next 2 months if you had Gabriel there? I mean, you know what I'm trying to say? Not having him there could cost you at least 6
he's only
points.
scored 2 goals in the season, bro.
Yeah, but LB, just having his presence in the box can have 2 defenders on him focusing on Gabriel and Timber scores. Do you understand what I'm saying, LB? Like, it might not just be Gabriel scored 2 goals. It's what Gabriel does in the box. It's his presence in the box. It's people being worried about him. And you have to say he's a handful. He doesn't wear the armband, but he's the leader of that team. That's
for sure
it
as well.
They're going to miss him, man.
Saliba's much better when he's next to Gabriel. And we're going to miss him. Every single team will miss one of their best players. He's probably been our best player this season. But listen, I'm not making no excuses. This is what the squad's here for, and we've got top players to come in. So now's their time.
Exactly. Good, because you can't be saying last week that you got the best squad in the world and then fucking worrying about this, isn't it?
Aya here says, wouldn't you say Arsenal making their squad bigger in the summer was managing the problem, though, David?
I agree. And that's why Arsenal have had the start that they've had, because they had Saka injured, they had Odegaard injured, and straight away Madueke came in, Eze came in. And now Madueke's injured, and Saka's back. So I agree, they did address this problem, but it's not addressing the root of the problem, is it? Injuries are still happening. And they're really having to utilize this squad that they've invested in, because it seems to be when part of the squad's fit, the other part's injured. When do Arsenal ever have a full firing squad? I feel like they never do.
So, question I have: how many more injuries are they getting compared to the other squad, like top teams?
Yeah, have you fact-checked this?
Because again, I guess we have to. They are getting injuries. And I'm not saying they're not. But Liverpool currently, for instance, Isak's out injured. At the top of my head, they've had players out this year. City have definitely got players out. Spurs, I think, currently have got someone told me earlier today, like 13, 14 players out. United are one of the only teams. Šeško's now out for a few weeks. We've actually had a very good injury record this season. Yeah. We're playing 1 game a week. How does Arsenal's injury records compare to all the other, when I say top clubs, teams competing for league titles and challenging for Champions Leagues? Yeah. How does it compare? I don't know the answer.
I guess we need to check it. But when you hear when you hear
City.
Arsenal fans saying that they missed out on the league because of injuries, straight away it's at the forefront of your head that this team gets loads of injuries. So that's it. You know, they've done it to themselves, the fan base.
Yeah, but
I agree with
but they're
this.
making excuses, isn't it? They're making excuses.
Well, I'm taking it at face value. They get loads of injuries, and that's why they missed out on the league, right? And it feels that way. It feels like they do get a load of injuries. But I agree with the super chat. They have addressed it, but they haven't addressed the root of the problem, have they? Which is apparently they get loads of injuries.
Someone in the super chat said Man City have had the most injuries this year. Not sure how true it is, but Man City are missing Rdorygo, their best player. They've been missing for like the whole season.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a website here. There's a website here that shows them. You got to be very careful because I clicked on Man United and it shows like Lisandro Martinez, who was out. He was already out from last season, so I would take that one off. But United this season, Maguire, Casemiro, Mainu, and Šeško are down on the injury list. So it's 4 from this season. Arsenal's is currently sitting at 7, but when I click on it, Jesus is from last year, so I'd remove him. Say 6. Odegaard, Kai Havertz, Gabriel Martinelli, Victor Gyökeres, Madueke, and then Gabriel. Liverpool's currently sitting on 3 this season. Leone, Frimpong, Becker. They haven't actually got Isak on there, though. We know Isak's another, so that's 4 from them. Man City's only says 2. That can't be right. So I'm gonna. You've definitely had more than 2 injuries this year, City. I would say. No. So I mean that website's incorrect instantly. Yeah. So I don't know where.
Dan, you knew the figure. You knew the figure for last year, didn't you, Dan? You said it numerous times. What was the figure last year?
27 injuries, the most.
Well, there you go, Terry. There you go. We're only 11 games into this season.
Hang on, though. But when you say there you go, again, the context is needed, not to defend Arsenal, but for the truth. How many of those injuries were long-term, missed multiple games? Because, for instance, a player has a dead leg and misses a game, that counts as an injury. You might have a team that has 30 players injured.
To be fair, though, Terry, Arteta was the one who said it.
But I understand that, but you've got to look at it. Another team might have 15 players injured, but they're all bad injuries, and it's worse for your team if you get where I'm coming from. So
what you're saying is an excuse, Terry, from the club and the team?
No. I'm not saying it's an excuse. Okay. I'm talking about, because we're not talking about excuses. We're talking about whose fault is it? And people can blame Arteta. But what you then have to look at is how many more are they getting? How many short injuries, long-term injuries are they getting compared to their competitors? We need to work out whether or not it's normal or abnormal, and you need the data for that. For instance, I always go back to this example. When Sky Sports showed us that Pogba walks around the pitch for 25 minutes a game, it sounded horrendous. The problem is we had no idea what the average was for a midfield player in the Premier League. That's all I'm saying. Like right now, for instance, on the Premier League's website, on the Premier League's website right now, it shows Arsenal have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players out injured. For instance, though, Brighton have got 7 players. Chelsea have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out as well. This is Premier League. Liverpool have 6 players out injured. Man City right now it says 2, to be fair. United it says 5. Newcastle it says 8. Forest it says 9. Sunderland it's 7. Tottenham, fucking hell. Tottenham's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Arsenal is on the higher end, but is it equally what we've also been told is Arsenal are now about to get back. Arsenal was expected to now get back Kai Havertz, Madueke, Odegaard, Martinelli. So there's 4 to come off that list. So my point is it abnormal compared to everybody else? I don't know the answer. Before we start blaming the manager, we need to know the facts, right?
The focus is just obviously made on Arsenal. And if there's any little thing that these fans can blame Arteta for, they'll jump on it. That's what it is.
Oh, someone said they come back mid-December. Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Go on, mate.
Yeah. What I will say, if you've listed out all those players, 6 players here, 7 players here, 8 players here, but you've got to look at the importance of which players are out as well, right?
Yeah, but Man City are missing their best player. Man City are missing the Ballon d'Or winner, Rodri, their best player, who makes them a million times better team. Arsenal are now missing our best player, probably in Gabriel this season anyway. And Liverpool are missing the best player, main striker.
I do hear you, but at the end of the day, if Haaland does a sprint today and what's the other attacker's name at your club? Omar Mamouche does a sprint. If Haaland's hamstring snaps and Mamouche's doesn't, that doesn't make Pep a better or worse manager. They've got to go through the same process. And at the end of the day, you look at the players at Liverpool that are out injured. Obviously, Leone is not, it was a youngster, but they've got Alisson out, who's their main goalkeeper. Their most expensive player, the Premier League's most expensive player ever, and Frimpong are out injured. You look at Chelsea, Lavia, Colwell,
Palmer, their best player.
Palmer, Neto, Enzo, according to the Premier League website, this is. You look at Brighton, I'm looking at their team, and I'm seeing Veltman, Matoma. These guys, to them, are the most important players. And I think that there's no one here's injury list I'm looking at, and I'm not going, oh, that's an important player. He's not important, Most teams have important players out, and I'm not saying he's blameless in any of this. I just think that it's weird the level of attack Arteta gets, but most other managers are sort of left alone when it comes to their injuries.
Because if he gets them over the line, if he does get them over the line, he's shown he can. He will show that he can manage a squad across a season to win a major honor. Once you show that, people are less on your case. Oh my God, your main players are injured. These players are injured. You're getting loads of injuries, and that's why you're not winning the league. Pep doesn't get the stick because he's shown he can manage a squad to win the league. It's as simple as that. Once Arteta wins it,
I think it's not as simple as that. I think there's always a variety of factors. You know, maybe Arteta's overplayed him a tiny bit. Okay. Maybe there's too many games in a season. You know, there's a lot of international.
That's fair.
games.
But I want to make sure I heard what you said right there, Dave. So until he wins the league, he'll be blamed for his players getting injured. If he wins the league and the same amount keep getting injured, it won't suddenly be his fault they're injured.
Well, people just look at it differently. And we've had this conversation back and forth.
But that doesn't make sense.
Well, hold on.
That doesn't make sense.
No, it don't make sense. It don't make sense to you. It don't make sense to you. If Carlo Ancelotti doesn't want to look at penalties, he doesn't have to. He can smoke a cigar and look away. But if Ruben Amorim doesn't look at penalties, I'm going to be flipping fuming. Right?
But that means but again, if you think, so my point is this, if you sit there and believe that a manager looking at the penalties or not looking at the penalties makes no difference whatsoever, I get when you're emotional, you'll moan about it. But if you think it makes no difference, then when you're having a normal conversation, it should be an irrelevant point that you're making. My point is this. If you think that if Arteta's got a Premier League winners medal and he still gets the same volume of injuries, that it won't be his fault in any capacity they're getting injured, with the training being the same, the behavior being the same.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not his fault. I'm saying fans will be a bit more lenient and patient with him once he gets major honours. Like I would be a bit more lenient and patient with Amorim for not looking at penalties once he starts winning us stuff, right? That's all I'm saying.
See, I'm the other way. I look at the right behaviours irrespective of whether you win or lose. Personally,
but that's not realistic to the world, is it? Fans are going to react. We are emotional, Terry. We are. I mean, how are you going to take emotion out of football? Tell me how you're going to do that.
Well, you're the one who wants to take celebrations out of football, so that's not me who's looking to do that. My point, but this is. I'm not saying in the moment, David, you shouldn't say these things, but we're not in an emotional state. We're in a sensible, grown-up conversation. So we know
I'm never not in an emotional state.
We know that people say nonsensical things when they're angry or overly excited. I understand that, but you're not in this moment. So to say that the fans won't blame him if they've won something versus now, that means what you're saying is the fans are wrong for blaming him.
No, what I'm saying is you brought up Pep and why he doesn't get the same treatment. Why do you think he don't get the same treatment? Tell me why.
I know exactly why. I know.
Tell me, please. Educate me on it.
I know. Well, you know why. You've already said it. It's because he has won things as an example. But again, that's wrong. It's illogical. If Pep's training methods are injuring players, just because he's winning things doesn't mean he's not to blame for those players being injured. I'm talking about what we actually speak about. Now, if, for instance, Arteta is doing things or has a bad medical team, is getting bad medical reports, gets bad advice, goes against the advice, by all means, call it out. All I'm asking for is for people to... the one thing that I get shown is, players have said that they've played through injury for the manager. And I go, what does that prove? Well, it proves he's mismanaging them. I've heard all players that have played at all levels talk about playing through injuries for their manager. Again, that isn't... Agreed. I don't have a go at the manager because that's not abnormal for footballers to do that. My point is what people do to Arteta is they see something that he's done, they jump on that and go, that's why we're having problems. The issue is when you start looking at other clubs, they behave and act in the same way. So therefore, I'm less I'm less harsh on Arteta for that action. I don't look at it as a.
He does
that's
do
an
weird
anomaly.
stuff, doesn't he, though, Terry? Like last
Like
year,
what?
when didn't he bring like Saka on at like 3-0 up at Preston away or something like that?
That personally, I've had a pop at him for. I've said about Saka, I think he was overused. So that there as an example, I'll absolutely condemn that. Where I've praised Pep before, and I think he does something brilliant with Erling Haaland that he wasn't having done for him at Dortmund. He takes him off early in a lot of games, sometimes where he's on route to scoring even more goals and he's off at 60, 70 minutes and he's rested, because I think that Haaland was having some injury problems in his younger years and Pep's done a fantastic job of managing that. So I'm not saying that Arteta is blameless. All I'm challenging in this particular conversation is when people go this year, the amount of injuries he's having, all I've asked, and I'm not even saying he's blameless. I'm saying, is it abnormal compared to all the other top teams? Because if it is, then investigate it. But if it's on par, maybe we're doing a little bit too much.
I just think for me, like, I don't think you can blame Arteta for the guy getting injured, but like you can ask questions about why is he coming on at Port Vale and Brighton in the Carabao Cup?
Exactly.
Like, what is the point in bringing on Gabriel, one of your most important players? Why on earth are you bringing him on? And I know people will say, well, it's only 20 minutes. He could have fucking snapped his leg in the game. You know what I mean? So why are you bringing him on in this? Why is he bringing Saka on last year against Preston? Like, it's just pointless. And I'm not saying those 40 minutes have caused Gabriel to get injured. Yeah, it probably had nothing to do with it. But, like, you can see why Arsenal fans, when Gabriel is so important to their team, as Positive Dan said, why would you be bringing him on in those games? Does he really need to play 90 minutes against Slavia Praha in match day 4 of the Champions League when you've already won 3 out of 3? Does he really? Could you not drop him and play like Ben White or someone? Or some other defender, Mosquera or the other guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the only thing that you can say about it. Like, I don't think you can blame him outright for the injury because nobody truly knows. But you can definitely ask questions about why this manager, I'm looking at Arsenal's fixtures, there's not been a single game this season where Gabriel's not featured for Arsenal. And when Dan says that he's one of the most important players, is that not poor management then from Arteta? It is, isn't it?
Well,
now, again, you can say, without saying he's not his at fault for him getting injured. But you can definitely say, and I think if you don't say it, I think you're lying. That is bad management from Arteta. Facts. Nobody.
Yeah, look, bringing him on against who is it? Port Vale. I didn't understand that when it happened, and I called it out when it happened. And Saka over the years has definitely been overplayed, but I think that was more to the fact that we had no one else to come on. It was Raheem Sterling last year or Reece Nelson the year before. So, now obviously there's Madueke. So hopefully that situation changes. But they've asked Arteta about this before, and he used Ronaldo and Messi as the examples and said they play 50, 60 games every single year. And that's it.
So he's just gonna play everybody 50, 60 games a year because Ronaldo and Messi.
I don't know what he's gonna do. Now we've got a big.
You agree though that it is poor that Gabriel has not had a single rest this season for Arsenal Football Club.
Well, he has had a rest because he's not started them games. He's come on.
No. He's not. He's featured in every.
He's featured in every game. Yeah.
You think that's poor? Yeah. For Arteta, that is poor.
I would say the Port Vale game. For sure. The Brighton game, I think he needed to come on. I was at that game and it was looking shaky at some point. So I don't think that was a bad decision. But the Port Vale game, why the hell does he need to come on against Port Vale?
It's a great point. The Port Vale game, I think people would argue, but he came on and played 20 minutes. So my question is this: do we think that 20 minutes against Port Vale is a difference between this injury happening and not happening?
No.
So you're warming up for 15 minutes.
We don't know. We don't know, because we don't have a crystal ball, right? And I'm saying I don't think you can blame Arteta for the actual injury itself. Yeah. However, it is bad management for such a crucial player like Gabriel not to have had a single rest this season. That is not controversial. That everybody should agree with that. That is poor. That is poor.
When you beat Leeds,
we are only 13 games into the season. So true. I'm not sure. It's not like we're like 3 quarters in.
Well, you 4-0 up pretty early on.
Yeah, okay, so David, that was our second game of the season. If anyone thinks a player needs to be rested,
you don't need to sub him off then.
They've lost their mind.
On that one.
No, I'm just asking the question, could he have subbed him off there when you're 4-0 up, right? You know what I mean? Like, knowing that you get injuries.
I suppose there's another argument to that though, as well, though, isn't there? Like, how much work have Arsenal's defence done this year? Not a lot, do you know what I mean? They're not getting attacked, but...
Well, you'd argue they're not getting attacked because of the work they've done.
After pre-season, you want players to get minutes in their legs. That's what you want.
I
Everyone
agree.
keeps saying Saka needed a rest. Saka didn't start the first 5 or 6 games. Madueke was playing. People were telling me he needs a rest. I'm saying he needs to play. Saka needs to improve. He needs to get better.
I don't think he should be him off like in every single game, but he should have a rest, and he's not.
Yeah, he should have had a whole rest against in both of them games. Probably the EFL Cup, both games. Brighton and Port Vale. He should have just been rested. 100%.
He should have been rested, bro. That's the facts.
But there's obviously another reason to it. I'm not sure what that reason. Whether the records were part of it. You know, it could
so
be.
You can see why some people are having a pop, then, can't you?
Yeah,
when it's so important to your team.
Yeah, listen. Overall, the injuries, of course, I can. But for that specific injury, it happened on international duty. It didn't happen playing for Arsenal. So I don't know why he was playing in that game against Senegal in a friendly. I know it was at the Emirates, but
why is he playing against Port Vale in the Carabao Cup?
Yeah. Yeah. It happening for Brazil. It happening for Brazil makes no difference, though, innit? He's just rocked up and played a game for Brazil. That what could have happened. The lead up to that game is what's caused it, right? But anyway, we've said it's not Arteta's fault. It's everyone's fault as a collective. But as you said yourself, Dan, the buck stops at the manager, right? And there's no smoke without fire. We've brought loads of examples
if we lose the title this year and we end up having like loads of injuries like last year, then 100%, I ain't going to be sitting here backing Arteta. I can guarantee you that. There'll be massive questions. I want to know what's going on in training. You know, there's obviously some sort of issue. If that happens 2 years in a row and it looks like it's going like that, we won't win the league. So these injuries need to calm down for sure.
I hear that. Ash here says time for the downfall. Ash here, Newcastle thinks it's going to be it now for Arsenal. Their downfall starts. Wouldn't you say Arsenal making that? Sorry, I already done that one. Terry, remember I said I'm done with Mikel Arteta, not for his tactics and training. His man management is the problem, is what AMT says here. Terry, can this injury define Arsenal's season? If it does, I think that's where the bigger and more serious questions come in for Arteta. They've got Mascara, they've got Hankape. They obviously have Saliba already in the team. Ben White can play centrally. Timber can go in central. They've got options here. Calafiori. They've got a lot.
This is what they were bought for.
They've got a lot of options. This is where the difference between a head coach and a manager comes in. They have the squad on paper to handle it. They've had the squad. We've seen Mascara come in. We've seen these players go into centre back roles and look good. And I think, for instance, this game against Tottenham, the next match, there's still no excuses. Spurs have got 10 to 13 players out injured. They should still be winning. So there are some games, maybe away at Stamford Bridge, Gabriel not being there may make a marginal difference, but that doesn't mean their season should be defined by it. You know, I've seen my club win trophies. If you look at any season where Man United won trophies, go through any Arsenal season where they won trophies, injuries happened. So it's a reason why you may not be at your absolute optimum best. Doesn't always mean you shouldn't win games, shouldn't win trophies. When you have a squad as good as Arsenal's, because I'm not changing my opinion. I think they've got one of the best squads in Europe.
Back to my point, had Arteta won some trophies, he wouldn't have this much on him. There wouldn't be such a vigilance onto he managing the injuries.
I agree with that. The pressure is there. That is because trophies haven't been won with this squad, and Arsenal fans view it as brilliant squad, like the best chance we've had in years to win these major trophies. Please don't mess it up. I understand it, but in terms of actually breaking down what Arteta's doing, how different is it compared to the other clubs and managers? That's the information I want to come out and then speak facts as opposed to... David, you can't rule out the number of games players play nowadays being one of the root causes. United don't play in Europe. Everyone gets injuries. Arsenal make the squad bigger is currently the best solution at the moment.
Yeah. I think this is coming back to when I said them... there was a super chat before saying they made the squad bigger. Isn't that fixing the problem? And I said the root is they keep getting injuries. That's the problem, not buying more players. So I guess they were coming back to that, right?
The thing is as well, it's 2 months as well. So he might miss, 6 Premier League games, right? Christmas period is important, man. I know, but it's not like he's out for the whole season or another half of the season, which would obviously be a lot more.
Yeah, I'll get the fixtures up now. See which games he misses. So if he misses 2 months, he'll be back on the 18th of Jan. Yeah, so he's gonna miss Tottenham at home, Bayern at home, Chelsea away, Brentford at home, Aston Villa away, Club Brugge away, Wolves at home, Everton away, Palace at home, Brighton at home, Villa at home, Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home, and then Forest is the 17th. So,
blimey.
There you go. So you're going to miss Premier League games. He's going to miss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 10. If he's back to the Forest game.
It's a quarter of the season. A quarter of the season he'll miss. It's big.
This period is huge.
That's the worst case scenario. You know what these journalists are like sometimes.
Exactly.
He could end up playing on the weekend. They could just be pulling. They could just be pulling a fast one to mug off Tottenham.
More Arsenal breaking news on the injury front. Kai Havertz has had a minor relapse on his knee injury, but he's doing well overall and is expected to return to playing towards the end of the year. So Nagelsmann has just confirmed that. So where he was expected to come back for this North London derby, it's now going to be the end of December.
Oh, has he picked that up on international duty? Has he?
No, it's just there's been a relapse of the knee.
That's Arteta's fault.
Yeah, another question I would actually ask is...
Arteta's done it with a golf club or something.
The question I would always ask, because 4 of their players are out with knee injuries, Kai Havertz, Noni, Odegaard, Jesus. We all know there's a difference as well. I never realized this until after he retired. I saw Jack Wilshere talk about this, that Jack Grealish rarely pulled a muscle, overworked. Nearly every single one of his injuries was like an impact injury from a tackle or people falling on him. That's also the other side that I like to review as a club. For instance, when what's his name? Ange's Tottenham were getting all these hamstring injuries. It was so many at the same time. You're like, hang on, what are you guys doing? Equally, when you get knocks and knee injuries or people falling on you, like for instance, Odegaard's shoulder when he hurt at the beginning of the season, that was an obscure fall. I would never blame a manager for something like that. And I don't even know the breakdown of what Arsenal's are, but it's also working out which ones were from impact, which ones were like obscure falls. Because a lot of the time, like most cruciate ligament injuries, most of them are so innocuous. There's almost nothing to even see. As you look at Rodri's knee went. That can happen to any player at any second. You can't really.
Or Martinez, he fell on his knee, innit? Who was it? The West Ham player.
Yeah. But the thing is with the Rodri one, is like I said that as well, Terry. But then like people were saying that if you spam out a player, like you put that player at more risk of like an ACL. Which I didn't know was true, but that's what people were saying.
It's true, but equally,
if that is true, then like the thing is, it wasn't really Pep's fault. It was the club's fault because we never actually did what they should have done and gone bought someone that could take the minutes off. And
then Pep has to play him because his job's to win games, and it becomes a knock-on effect. But equally, I saw some physios over the Gabriel situation say bringing players on for like 10, 15 minutes in those games midweek is really good. It's got a word. It's not called continuation fitness. It's got like a word around it. It helps them maintain a player's levels and stops them going into the red zone. So the issue I have with a lot of these debates is you end up, all of us, when it comes to the body, even we've got 2 PTs on here, where a lot of us are talking in layman terms and we don't really understand it. And this is what Sky Sports should do, by the way, and I'll call them out for it. TNT Sports is get actual fucking experts on to break it down, but they don't, because they don't want the truth. They want speculation from fans, if that makes sense. Like you want actual experts to come on and go, periodization is the word that some use. I've heard another word for it as well. And again, some physios, some sports scientists believe it's the right thing to do. And that's the one thing.
Yeah, but all these people just say whatever they want. Like some scientists will be like, it's better to play them. Some will say it's better to rest. So who knows what?
Arteta is not bringing him on just for the sake of it against Port Vale. There's obviously some reason behind it. He's not just him.
He's trying to win the game. He thinks you're going to get beat off Port Vale, so he's like,
that's clearly not the case, is it? Though we know that's not the case. He's obviously been advised.
You know him. You don't know.
No, but like what Terry's saying, though, innit? He's obviously been advised that try and get some minutes in him if you can.
Brian here says 20 minutes 7 weeks ago. Oh Lord, some people are. I think it's meant to say reaction.
Reaching. There we go.
Yeah,
reaching.
Brazil knew he was in the red and played him, and this is true. But I also look at Gabriel, because Gabriel should have said, Gabriel should have done a Giggsy and gone, I ain't playing. Like, there's value in that.
I did say this. The player also has to take responsibility. He does.
Such a massive week. He'll be gutted right now. But you know what, though? Just thinking about it, now I've heard that Havertz news. For me, Joker is probably the most important player right now, because I said it that we will not be as good without him. And Mikel Merino is a fridge up front. All right, he scores goals here and there.
Marino scores goals, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, listen, trust me now. I've watched Arsenal with Merino up front and Gyökeres, and it's night and day. We're not struggling, but we're not scoring many goals. We're not scoring loads of goals. And Gyökeres, for me, if he's not starting in that North London derby and Merino is, I'll be a lot more worried. That will worry me more if Gyökeres is not back, because we're a totally different team.
He has to step up now, doesn't he, and make up. We said a few weeks ago, if Gabriel got 12 goals this year and Gyökeres got 12 goals, that works it out, right? Now, no Gabriel, Gyökeres has to step up big time now.
Listen, it's the perfect game for him. He scores in that North London derby. It would be.
But the rumors are that he won't be back this weekend. He's still slightly behind schedule. Gyökeres, yeah, that's also a rumor as well.
Yeah, that's massive.
What a shame.
Spurs might do something this weekend, man. I can't lie.
Because they're two centre backs.
We have some more breaking news. It's not to do with
Harry, it better be some good news. Come on.
Well, it is for me. This is from Nathan Salt, a very well-connected Manchester United journalist, who says Antoine Semenyo to Manchester United is one to watch. He goes on to break down more details, but is one to watch. He's one to watch.
Yeah,
Come on, listen. Bring me Semenyo. Let's get it done.
Amarim's defo, it's expensive to have him as a manager because you've got to buy a whole bunch of players to fit this system because it's the only system he will ever play. But, I mean, if he starts getting his players...
But that's not strictly true. They've already started doing training sessions on 4-3-3. That's been very well publicised now.
Is that true? Is that true?
Well, again, I mean, this would be my pushback to you on it. I'm sure if the Athletic said that he refused to train it, you'd believe it.
No, I'm just asking if it's true, Terry. That's all.
Well, do you trust the Athletic? Yes or no? I suppose. And Laurie Whitwell.
Well, yeah. Well, God knows who these fellas are. You know what I mean? I'm just asking if it's true.
He's a very credible Man United journalist. I don't know if it's true. I didn't write it. Do you believe? It's down to you. I can't tell you if it's true. I'm not there.
No, I'm asking the question: is it true? Because I don't see him playing 4-3-3. It ain't never going to happen.
But the point I'm making. No, I mean, he's always said that he would. Yeah. He always said that he would evolve it, and according to the reports at United, he started training. But my overarching point, if I could get to it, is you bring someone in like Semenyo. If you do have to change manager, you can switch a lot quicker and easier to a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 with him suddenly in your team. So for me, I wouldn't be too worried about it whatsoever. Ancelotti played the long game. This is the remontada. I like it. Spain will win the World Cup. Portugal will get to the quarters. Is what AMC says here.
This is blasphemy, man. This is, we beat Spain in a nation. We beat Spain in a Nations League final. See, no respect for Portugal. I don't know why.
Well, you basically said you were Ireland earlier, so that's why.
Well, that's it. Yeah.
This here says Ronaldo not top 50 in the world. Shout out Lee. Sack Cristiano. Ronaldo, Martinez.
And Martinez, yeah. I tell you something. If Martinez had won England a Nations League, you'd all be praising him. Look, England are already so gassed because they've been unbeaten in their little qualifier. Nobody cares, man. You ain't going to win nothing, mate. So put some respect on Martinez's name.
Everyone's keep moaning, man.
Yeah.
You sound a little rattled there, David, over England.
Yeah. Listen, anytime England plays Portugal, we school them. Remember Ricardo when he put it bottom corner against England? I'll never forget it. Never forget it. Yeah, we've got something you lot don't have, mate. Well, you've got the World Cup.
We've got World Cup, mate.
Let me call it there. Let me call it there.
There he is. Ronaldo's going to win the World Cup and complete football. England have got that. You don't, me old mucker. Do you know what I mean?
Jeff, yeah, your heart
out. I set myself up there.
It's because you're emotional. It's because you're emotional there, David. Yeah. Emo David. Listen, I want to thank everyone who's tuned into the show today. LB, Dave, Dan, always an absolute pleasure. Thanking the super chatters. I want to thank everyone who's liked, shared, and subscribed. It means a great deal to us that you're all here watching. This is going to redirect you to Footy Judge Mo's channel, so go and check him out over there, please, people. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.